Good morning, Floss Tube. It's been a hot minute. It's been 2 weeks. I think 2 weeks exactly. Today is Monday, the 19th of February. I'm off today, President's Day. I think that's what it is anyway. We are finally back from our epic vacation. Um, so first, let me do intros. I've got a hair hanging over here. It's in my way. So, hi, I'm Shari. Welcome to my channel. This channel is pretty much all about cross stitch. Occasionally, I do other crafts like quilting and machine embroidery. Haven't done either of those very much lately. But thanks for coming back if you've been with me for a while, because I took a couple year break in there for a while. And if you're new, I'm glad you found me, and I hope you find something you like to hang around with and make you come back. So last we spoke again was 2 weeks ago on Monday, the 4th, 5th, whatever day that was. I think it was the 5th. And we were getting ready to leave on our epic plane vacation. Our first time taking the Cessna out for actual vacation and seeing if it was feasible. Because, you're limited with space and weight, useful load what you can take in a small plane. But I did start an update before we left San Antonio, and sorry, I have total allergy, so total snot throat. So if I clear my throat a bazillion times, I'm sorry. I may have to stop and cough. Yeah, it is what it is. Allergies. Anyway, I have some notes here so I don't forget stuff. I did start an update in San Antonio for the stitching that I did before we left there. And again, my stupid butt forgot to press stop on the recording before I ended it, and it didn't save. So you get a picture of what it was only one day. So I had a picture, of course. If you follow me on Instagram, xstitch_Shari, you will see daily updates. I pretty much put stuff on there every day. But yeah, life got a little crazy. So we had flown up to San Antonio early. We hadn't planned on leaving from San Antonio. We planned on leaving from here, from Portland, Corpus Christi, but the weather was going to be questionable. So we flew up there on Sunday and saw Hannah before we left, and then we were going to fly from there. And the rest is history. But this is gonna. I think I should probably do this video a little bit differently. Because the life update is going to be way longer than normal because it was a 2 week, like I said, epic vacation in the plane. So we'll do stitching first, then haul, and then we'll do the life update. That way, if you don't give a crap about my vacation and flying across the country in a small Cessna, um, then you don't have to listen to it. So we'll go from there. Okay. So before we left San Antonio, um, hang on. What is that? Give me 1 second. I got a weird error code. Okay, and I changed my Zoom password this morning, and I record these in Zoom because it's just easier. So, okay, now I got a cough. So give me 1 more second. Okay, we're back. Anyway, so I figured I would just share my screen for 2 seconds and show you what I got finished on the ornaments all around by Glendon Place. That was what I was working on before we left on vacation. So let me find that share screen button. And there you go. That is what I got done on ornaments all around before we left. I've replaced all of this stuff here that's normally Krennic with Petite Treasure Braid. There are 3 different colors in there, if you can tell, like a rose gold, and then a silvery, and then the gold gold. And all of the blank spots here, all the way around that, and in here are beads, which I'll do at the end. All of these blank spots are beads. Same on this one. This one's going to look just like this one, only, obviously in purple colors. So that was what I got finished on the ornaments all around. That's going to be a long stitch. It's a big project. So if I show you on this one, you can see the depth and breadth of that. So I've got this done, that, and part of this. And so yeah, it's going to be that's a long-term project. It's not going to get finished anytime soon. So we'll go back to video. And yeah, but I love Glendon Place patterns. I really do. They're always pretty, and I love the mandalas. So we that was Monday night, and then so Tuesday we traveled. I don't think I stitched at all on Tuesday because Tuesday was crazy, but we'll get to that at the end. So the first thing that I worked on while we were vacationing was my Jim Shore Santa, simply because it was the easiest one to get to in the baggage. Um, it's snowman with lights. You can see that pretty good. And it was late when we got to the hotel. And so I got stitched. Let me put that behind it. I had gotten a whole bunch more done. I like all this gray. I had all the gray in down here too. And then the next day when I was stitching, or the day, well, because I work on them for 2 days, each whip, and I realized, yeah, it was the next day that all of the gray was one stitch too far this way. So I had to rip it all out. And then I got mad at it. And I'm like, okay, I'm done. This thing's going away, but that's where it's at. And it's in my cute little bag that I got at that Fiber Fest the other day, 2 weekends ago, 3 weekends ago, something like that. And then next up was Witch's Brew by Hinzite. And so I tried, to pack for this trip ahead of time, and making sure I had all the floss. And a lot of times I leave the floss in the bag, but sometimes I scavenge it out, and if I run out of it, in another one. And of course I I left 2 floss colors at home that fill in the flames and the lighter purple that goes in the letters. But so I was just working in the area. Of course, that's all the way to the bottom and all the way to the top. And the key on this one is off. Some of the colors are marked incorrectly, and if they ever actually put out any chart corrections, I've never seen it. For anybody who's been with me for a really, really, really long time, if you remember, I did one called Wicked Witch, and it's beautiful. I have it framed. It's absolutely gorgeous. And that's what it says on the outside. It says Wicked Witch. But on the inside, it said Wicked Bitch. It was charted with a B instead of a W. And I was like, I can't put that on my wall. Tried to contact them numerous times to get the chart with a W in it, and never got an answer. Finally, somebody else on Flosstube who had seen it had the chart with the W in it, and sent me that section so I could rework it around the witch's hat in the center. And it was such a pain. But I love their patterns, but their customer service is crap. I mean, absolute crap. But so it's fine, finish figuring it out just by, looking at the colors in the picture and the colors in the key, making it work. But that one moves along pretty quickly. It's a lot of colors in there. There's like 4 different colors of green in this little potion. I don't know what you want to call that little vial. I don't know. I don't know what you call that. Anyway, that got work done for 2 days. And the bag that it's going in is in stash acquisitions. Oh, look, my Adobe Acrobat updated successfully. How nice is that? Okay, 1 second. Got a cough. Okay, I'm back. Had to go get a drink. And so hopefully we'll be better now. All right, next project I stitched on was, it's called Floral Texas, I think. It's by Stitch Line on Etsy. And of course I don't have a cover picture. I think I put one up on Instagram that's just a screenshot of what was on the camera. So hold on 2 seconds and I'll show you what it's supposed to look like. There, that's what it's supposed to look like. I know that's a terrible picture because it's a picture of a screen, but it is what it is. Okay, so that one is being stitched on a vintage silk weaver that I have no idea what the name of the color is. I've probably said this before, but back in the day, Silk Weaver used to be a very reliable company about shipping you your fabrics of the month. I don't even know if they do fabric of the month anymore. And then they got bought by the current company and it went to shit. But I used to get a fat eighth and a fat quarter every month and absolutely love them. Ooh, that's getting blown out by the sunshine outside. Maybe, hang on one second, let me close the blinds. Okay, I left one side open and closed one side. So let's see. Yeah, you can kind of see it from that side. So basically, I'm done all the way over to Central Texas. And, oh, come on, focus. Maybe, I don't know if it's focusing better without my face in the frame. Hopefully. Maybe. But this is beautiful. I love it. There's no backstitch in it, which is awesome. And it is a lot of colors. But that's okay. So I worked on it for 2 days. Pretty happy with that progress. I don't think it would take that much to finish it out because there's really not that much left. I say that. We say that about everything, right? Oh, that won't take that long. Baloney. And it takes way longer than you expect. Put all that back in its bag. Okay, and these are totally out of order, so I'm going to put them back in order later. And then I went shopping. Where were we? We were based in Orlando, but we go all over the place, when we're somewhere. So we had a car, and so we went up to, and I'm probably going to butcher the name. Let me see if I can say it right, because of course I still have it marked in my maps. Go to my stitchy stores. My good, there it is, Needle Lords. I'm going to try to say it, Altamonte Springs, Florida. So Needle Lords is where I went shopping, but you'll get to see Stash in a little bit, but this is going to be part of it. So one of the things that I bought was this cute little Valentine's Day Quaker by Primrose Cottage Stitches. And I don't remember what day if I went. I think we went on Tuesday, so on Mardi Gras. And then I started this on Valentine's Day because Valentine's Day was when we were leaving Orlando and starting our journey home. So hadn't planned on starting it, but it was the only thing I could reach in the plane, and I was really getting bored because it was kind of just an easy flight, and we had already been over that same area, so it was kind of boring. And I had picked up some supplies for it, planning on starting it, but I hadn't planned on starting it in the plane. So y'all are gonna die laughing. So we're flying along, going up the west side of Florida, the coastline of Florida, and I could reach it. And I'm pulling out this fat quarter of Monaco and trying to measure it, knowing that, okay, so this is 8.5 by 11, right? And thinking, okay, so it's 28 count. So I'm going to need, it says, but on 28 count, you need, it's 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. So I was doing all my stuff and doing like 9 by 9, to make sure I had plenty of room, 2 inches on each side. So I've got total floss, too bitchy nose. And trying to cut it in the plane. I don't think I did too bad. So, because I couldn't, stitch with the whole fat quarter in my lap in front of me. So I rough cut a 9 by 9. And you see, I started it not quite. I was trying to cut, I started in the corner. And then I worked all the way around to make sure it was going to fit. But yeah, so I worked down the side and then across the top. Once I knew I had that since it's square, I knew it would fit. But that's what I got done on that. And I think it turned out so far. And I did not find the color. They were out of the color of floss. So I picked up just a variegated pink in DMC, the 4180. And give me 2 seconds because I need to cough again. So that was a first for me to do a start in our airplane. I've stitched in the plane before, but to actually start from scratch and doing the whole cutting of the stuff. And I did put a picture of that on Instagram too. So I'm going to share that with you real quick. So this is my husband. He's wearing shorts. It was nice and warm that day. And this is the dash of our little plane. You can see the propeller going by up there. And this is the Gulf of Mexico out there. And the back here, you can see the background is is Florida. And this was me starting in the corner and trying to pay attention and not get anything. What you can't see is over here on the right side. I have the big version of this, the Flight 80SB, which is, don't ask me what it stands for, on the iPad. And you basically, it's radar. You can see all of the traffic wherever you are flying. So if there's other planes in the air, you can see them all, and it tells you how far above or below you they are, which direction they're headed. It's really pretty awesome. But yeah, so we were having a good time. You can see we were flying at 5,500 feet. So a little over a mile up in the air. And this is your GPS. Tells you, it's got the little line on it. Basically, flying the plane is so easy. It's like, put it on. I'm kidding. It's not easy. It's a lot to watch. But it's, you just follow the line. This is the radios. Those are the radio frequencies. This is our transponder. It's a lot of fun. And I have one of these right here, over here by me. You can barely see, I think, the edge of it right there. But it's a lot of fun. So yeah, that was that. But luckily, okay, so there's not a lot in the plane that's ferrous metal that you can put a needle minder. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bump that. And so I was trying to find a place to put my needle minder because God, you don't want to lose my needle in the plane. And I mean, I have like pockets, like the little side things over here. You can see there's a little pocket that you can put things in. But when you're threading your needle or whatever, but I found a screw head up above my head up here, up above on the dash, the top of the windscreen, that was ferrous. So I stuck my needle minder to the little thing so I could put my needle up there and not lose it in between, trying to thread the needle. And okay, so I worked on that for several days in a row because it was just easier. And we stopped. Oh, I'm going to tell you about that later. And then when we got home yesterday on Sunday. And the last project that I had taken with me, which I did not work on because I started that one, is Winter Ice by Dinky Dice Designs, Winter Ice Sampler. And this is a ton of specialty stitches. And it's really fun and beautiful. And I'm doing it on, I think this is a 28 count Lugana. I think so. Might be 32. I don't know. And so where I started from, I wanted it to be really subtle. But where I started, I was down to this purpley row. And that's all done in Karen Water Lilies. And so it's all Karen Water Lilies and Krennic. And so then these top 3 rows, there's just a back stitch row of Krennic, a satin stitch row of Karen Water Lilies, and then another back stitch row of Krennic. Those just repeated below that one. And there's a bunch of beads missing that go up here. And then this row of cross stitches alternates with beads. So all of those holes will get filled in with beads. And then this, I think, is an Algerian eyelet. I think that's what I remember. And this goes all the way across. And then there's singular stitches of Krennic that go in the middle. And then you do the same thing on the bottom facing, the other way, mirroring it. I don't know if you can see that in the picture or not. So I'm on that row right there. And I'll work on that one more night tonight before it gets put away. So I think that's it for stitching. It doesn't seem like a lot for 2 weeks, but we were vacationing. So, we were doing a lot of stuff, golfing and, just doing stuff. So let's see. Stash. Okay, stash acquisitions. Let's do that one next. Okay, so the first store I got to visit, because that's one thing I always do every time I'm traveling, even if it's traveling for work or whatever, I always try to find the local cross stitch shops and go and spend some time and money there because we got to support our local shops, right? Because if we don't, they're not going to be there. So the little shop, of course, again, I told you was called Needle Orts in Altamonte Springs. And so these are the fun things that I found. So in addition to that Primrose Cottage Stitches one, I got this cute one from Lindy Stitches. It says, I love you more than yesterday. Yesterday you got on my nerves, which I love that. Oh, that's funny. The name of it's I love you more than yesterday. And so I thought that was really stinking cute. And then I got a needleblade design called Be Mine, which is cute. This one I have wanted since it came out and I never could find it, and I wasn't going to order it off 1-2-3 Stitch. So a lot of times I will add things to my 1-2-3 Stitch wish list, and then I use those. I use that when I'm shopping in the local stores to, for things that to look for. And so I'm not just, randomly, willy-nilly going in there going, oh, let me buy this, 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 and this. That way I know that I'm not double buying something because God knows I've done that a few times. But this one is Silver Creek Sampler Sweet and Twisted. That was cute. And then I got the bunny ornaments from Satsuma Street. And these, I saw somebody did them two-sided. So I think I'm probably going to do that too. It's really cute. Because every time I've done one of her ornament like that, there's so much extra stuff, and I've got extra paper, so that's not a big deal. And then I got a bunch of shepherd bush bag patterns. I'm trying to remember. Oh, and they had a clearance section too. Which I'll show you, got some good stuff in there. So I got the scary bag. They did not have the gray bag. I got 3 bags. Well, actually I got 2 from there and 1 from another place. But this one is on gray. And so I don't know if I'll do it on the gray, but I got a purple bag and a green bag from this store. And I got a pink bag from the next store, so we'll talk about that in a minute. I could do the scary would look okay, I think, on the purple bag or on the green bag. Either one could work. Or I can just order a gray bag. And then I got the winter, which could also look okay on the purple bag. I don't know. Or maybe I'll find a blue one. And then I got spring, which will definitely go on the pink bag. And then in their clearance section, they had, these are the real Prairie Schooler, not the ones that they started reproducing. February, May, and August. I think the only one that I lack now is September. And I know they have it on 1-2-3 Stitch, but I still have hopes that I'll find it locally and be able to, support a local shop. So that's what I got at the Altamonte Springs store. Put that over there. And then we went to Gulf Shores, Alabama, Gulf Shores, Orange Beach area. And let me see if I remember the name of the store is there. Let me see. Creative Needle Arts. Yeah, Creative Needle Arts. Looks like that. If you guys are lucky enough to have this as your LNS, yay. They do cross stitch and needlepoint. And oh my, and they don't bug you. You can sit there and look and look and look and look and look. And Kevin was like, "Oh, go look, take your time." So I pulled up a chair in their cross stitch room. They have just they're all done by alphabetical order by designer. And oh my gosh, so many charts. And so again, I took my 1, 2, 3 stitch list, wish list, and went through and things that I had added to it over time. And as I found them, I pulled them out of the bins and got them. One of them was the hands-on design buzz block for the what do they call these block party, and she also had the pins. So I got the pin minis for the buzz and the buzz. I have a couple of these stitched already. I need to put them together. It's not that hard. I've learned how to do it. Jingle Ball was great for that, but I just need to do it. So bite the bullet. I'm terrible at getting things finished. I got several more Primrose Cottage stitches that were on my list. Christmas Witches, Bumblebee Kisses, and Jingle All the Way. I see some small starts coming up in our future. And Shannon Christine Designs, Fun in the Sun. I love her patterns. They're always so bright and pretty. And then I found the autumn bag. So yay, got that one too. And I don't know if that could go on the green one. I don't know. I'll figure it out. And then I picked up some fabric, 32 count linen and the petit point. Oh, that one's wrinkled up in the back. Just the white with the gray with the white, excuse me. And then I got some 32 count in the natural and red. I don't know if you can see that, but it's kind of a dark red. Not, almost looks brown, but it's not. And that was what I got at that store. Unfortunately, they did not have one. At least I couldn't find one. There's a bunch of quilt stores in Gulfport, Mississippi, not Gulf Shores. We're in Gulf Shores, Alabama, Gulfport, Mississippi. So that was Stash Acquisitions. While we were in Orlando, not Stash, but something else I bought. We were Kevin wanted to just walk around. He wanted to walk off dinner, so we didn't go to Disney Springs. They were crazy busy. We went there another night, but we went to the outlet mall across the highway from Disney Springs, and their North Face outlet was having a heck of a sale, and I got this beautiful, one of my favorite colors is the bright terracotta peachy pink color. I don't even have anything in here to show you what that color is exactly, but that's okay. It was a beautiful fleece and the waterproofing stuff jacket. I don't even know what the normal price was, but I got it for 20 bucks. I was like, that was a steal. So I was very happy with that acquisition. All right, so now let's talk about vacation. If you don't give a crap about listening to my vacation, then you can leave. Thank you for coming, and I'll see you next time. Well, as you can see, it's a little bit later in the day than the rest of this video because I got to the end of editing and realized I hadn't done plans. So plans, what am I stitching on through the rest of February? So if you recall, which I don't know if you know or not, oh, yeah, that's what happens when you put the headset on. The hair gets all jacked up. I did not stitch on this one in order because it was way too big to take with me on vacation. So this is, excuse me, the Halloween Quilt, Halloween Village Collector Series Afghan by Stony Creek. Looks like that. And I am not doing it as an Afghan. I'm not doing it on the gigantic piece of fabric. I'm doing it on, well, it's still a gigantic piece of fabric. Who am I kidding? I think it's a 22 count piece of Hardinger fabric that I hand dyed to make it into a wall hanging. So that I did not take with me because it's huge and it has a whole lot of floss. But I will be stitching on this. This will be the next piece I stitch on after the winter ice sampler. And excuse me again. This was ice dyed by me. And that is what I have done so far. Not a lot. I'm doing it 1/1. because I wanted it to be smaller. So 1/1, and it's still going to take, hang on, make sure I got this the right way. Yes. I'm like, please tell me I didn't start that the wrong way. That is the right way. It goes like that. So I did start it in the upper right-hand corner, and it will take almost every bit of that fabric. So it is still going to be huge, even doing 1/1 on the 22. So that will be the next project after the winter ice sampler. And then after that, we should be back on track to doing the whips in their birth order. Hang on. Needle minder sticking together between bags. Next one after that will be Luna by Nora Corbett. I think that's Luna anyway. Bewitching Pixie, yes, Luna. And this is on, I want to say a silk weaver, but I don't know for sure. Is that the top? I think that's the top. It's kind of wrinkly. But that's where I'm starting at. Don't you love that needle minder? I made that one with a charm from Hobby Lobby. A little hard to see the purple on the purple, but the purple doesn't touch the purple anywhere. So it'll be fine. At least that's what I'm telling myself. So it'll be fine. Literally, you can see the purple doesn't touch the purple anywhere. So 2 days worth in on that one. Again, I stitched on all of them for 2 days. It's touching all the whips. Next up after that is a Bee Stitched Designs by Bev. She does amazing work. I don't think she does anything anymore. I think I haven't seen anything new from her in a really, really long time. This is a 1992 chart, so let's just, yeah. But it is Lone Star Sampler. It's got Texas, the Lone Star State, Cradle. This is Remember the Alamo, Cradle of Texas Liberty, March 6, 1836. And yeah, that's that. This is being done on, I think this is a country. It's one of the printed ones. And that's what I got done on the day that I started it. Yes, that's the Alamo, in case you didn't know. Or the outline of the Alamo. It's obviously not anywhere close to being done. So that will get some love. Next one after that is a pattern out of May 2012, cross stitch and needlework, called Blocks Box. And this is an ink circles design by Tracy Horner. Doing this one. This is definitely silk weaver. This is Wexford linen. I can tell that just by touching it. I did not get a big start on this one. You can see from the pattern, it is not going to be very big. And I'm doing this with, I don't know if that's what it called for, if I just picked it. Oh no, it's to do it in evergreen. Duh, it's in green. But I'm doing it in Midnight by Dinky Dyes. Dinky Dyes. So that's that one. Should always fold it a little bit different direction, right? Get a little different fold in it so it doesn't keep those same creases. And then next up, this is actually, I'm doing 2 patterns out of this one. So this will carry into the first 2 days of March as well. Be the last 2 days of February, the first 2 days of March. It is Prairie Schooler Harvest Time. And I am doing both of the bottom 2. I believe the witch is the first one up. And these both look like they're on a 28 count mushroom Lugana. And that is what I had done on the witch. And that's what I had done on the turkey. And so that's what we will be stitching on for the rest of the month and the first 2 days of March. Hard to believe it's going to be March already, right? Crazy. So now back to the rest of the life update. So bye. On to the next piece. Well, if you don't want to watch the life update, see you later. See you next week, whatever. But you get it. Happy stitching. But this is the beginning of our epic adventure. We bought the plane. It was a year ago in August, and had no idea. Hoped we'd use it a lot, but didn't know how much we'd be able to use it. And Kevin and I both work from home. Basically, as long as I have an internet connection, I can work from anywhere. So it makes life pretty easy. Kevin's pretty much the same. As long as he has a good internet connection, he can work from pretty much anywhere. Hang on one sec. I'm gonna cough again. So we had taken it on vacation to Rio Doso last spring. No, then that wouldn't be so. About 2 years ago, August? Heck, I don't know. Yeah, a year ago. This August will be 2 years. So last spring in April, I think it was April, we took it to Rio Doso, New Mexico, which was at, elevation. And our goal, one of the vacation we would really like to do, another epic vacation, is to fly up the east coast of the Rockies in the summer and spend the hottest parts of the Texas summer somewhere a little bit cooler. Because, it's 110, 120 degrees down here sometimes in the summer, and it's hot. But so this was probably twice as far of a trip. And one of the other reasons to go on this trip was Kevin wanted to visit the Velocity factory, where they build the Velocity airplanes, which we'll talk more about in a sec. But anytime you're flying private and VFR, which is visual flight rules instead of instrument flight rules, which is IFR, Kevin is rated for VFR. He's got some IFR training, but he's not certified yet. So long story short, you have to fly in good weather. And so the weather was not going to be great here when we were supposed to leave. We were supposed to leave on Thursday the 8th, and it was not going to be good weather down here. So we flew up to San Antonio on the 4th and had planned on leaving on the 8th. Well, the weather got progressively iffy. So Kevin's like, well, we'll leave on Wednesday and we'll stop once we get past where the weather's going to be, work on Thursday. Oh no, yeah, yeah, that was it. We'd leave when we got done with work on Wednesday instead of waiting till Thursday morning. We leave with work after we finished work on Wednesday because we were just going to leave in the morning. Flying at night is easy peasy. Love flying at night. Honestly, you can find the airport so much easier at nighttime because the beacon, you can see it from a long ways away. So I don't mind flying at night. I think it's beautiful. Needless to say, so we're working Monday. We're both working. He gets done with work like at 8 o'clock. Most of the time he's done before that. But anyway, I work till 5. So Monday night, I'm getting everything ready, getting everything packed, make sure we've got everything as ready as it can be, doing all the things. And then, so he goes Tuesday morning, I'm working. He's going out to the airport to make sure everything's fueled up. And because we flew on Sunday, I don't remember why we didn't fuel up on Sunday, whatever reason we didn't. And as he's coming back, and he comes back and he's watching the weather, he's like, the weather's coming in earlier than expected. He goes, what do you think about leaving tonight? And I'm going to like panic mode. I'm like, what do you mean leave tonight? I mean, he's like, yeah, as soon as I finish work, leave on Tuesday night. And so I'm like, okay, we can get it done. It's just going to be a little bit different. So we I finished work that he probably told me that like at 11:30 in the morning. And he's like, as soon as you can get packed up, because he has slots for patients. And once they fill them up, they're full. And so if he sees them faster than their actual time frame, then when he finishes, he's finished. They can't double book an appointment, which is fine. So I'm working my butt off trying to get everything done, knowing that the plan is to stop on, so fly Tuesday night, stop in Gulfport, Mississippi on Tuesday night, work in Gulfport on Wednesday, and then fly again on Wednesday night because the weather's going to keep going east, and get to Florida on Wednesday night, and then we'd be fine. We'd be past the weather and everything would be good. So get everything all packed up, get out to the airport, we take off. There's still a little bit of light in the sky when we take off. It's like 7-ish. We live really far west in the central time zone. So it's probably almost 7 by the time we took off. And we stopped and fueled up in Winnie, which is between Houston and Beaumont. Nice little airport, short runway, but our Cessna is equipped with a short takeoff and landing kit, so we don't need a whole lot of room to take off and land, which is awesome. And so no problem there. Refueled there, mostly because it has cheap gas, and then flew from Winnie on to Gulfport, Mississippi. Now, Kevin had called them ahead of time to make sure that they had a spot for us to tie down. There are, for any of you who don't fly private planes, general aviation, there's a thing called FBO, which stands for Fixed Base Operations. And that's like where the general aviation small planes, and I mean, when I say small planes, I mean small planes like our plane, all the way up to private jets land at these places, depending on, if the runway's big enough. And so they have them all over the place. But in Lake Charles, where his mom lives, they have a place called Millionaire, and it's a chain. They have these FBOs called Million Air, AIR, get it? And so we like them. The services are really good. The gas isn't always cheap, but if you fill up, they waive the tie down fees, which is fantastic because most places you have to pay to leave your plane overnight. So we get to Gulfport. Now, Kevin called them ahead of time and said, we're going to be in late, and they're open till like 10, but we figured it would take us 5 hours, so it's going to be midnight. And she was like, oh, no problem. There's somebody after hours if you need to fuel up. And he's like, no, we're going to spend the night because there's a hotel literally like there's a Hilton Garden Inn right next to the airport. Now, on one side of the airport is the regular Gulfport Biloxi International Airport, where big jets fly in and out of, commercial. And then on the other side is the general aviation. What they didn't tell us was that they lock it down. You can't get out. So we landed, no problem. The tower's still open, all that stuff. We land, we pull it over to the Millionaire place, we tie it down. There's nobody there. We do all this ourselves, which is not, we carry all the stuff with us to tie down and everything. I call the after hours guy because we can't figure out how to get out. Normally there's like a gate you can walk out because the hotel has a shuttle. They'll come pick us up, but we couldn't get out to get to the shuttle. And so I call the after hours guys, and he goes, no, it's locked down tight. I was like, there's not even like a turnstile gate that's one way only. Nope, I'll have to come out there and let you. And it's $150 charge for after hours service. I'm like, hang tight. I'll call you back if I need you. So lucky for us, there was a maintenance crew working on, they were repaving one of the runways. It's 2 runways. And Kevin saw this guy, driving around in his little truck with the lights on, and he flags him down. And it's a security guy who's monitoring, the airport security guy monitoring the guys who are working on the repaving the runway. Because they don't do it at night when it's closed, right? You got to get this stuff done when it's not busy. And luckily, this very nice young man, and he's like, well, I can take you over to the commercial side of the airport and let you out through there. And so that was fantastic. So We piled well, not all of our bags. We just took what we needed for overnight and put it in his truck, and he takes us over to the airport. Got a nice little tour of the backside of the airport. We went in through where the bags come off the plane into the inside into baggage claim. So got to go through the back door. That was kind of interesting. And then out the front side, and the guy from the hotel came over and picked us up in the shuttle. So it was a little, little adventure. Get to the hotel. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning at that point. Too wound up to sleep. So that's why I stitched on my snowman, and probably why I screwed up. We got everything in one stitch to the left because I was tired. But long story short, everything was good. We got to the hotel, was able to get a shower, get to sleep, and didn't really, we needed to get up to work. My work starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. So I worked the first half of the day at the hotel until it was checkout time. And then I took my lunch break. Kevin had the shuttle take him back over to the FBO, to Millionaire, and they have what they call courtesy cars that you can just borrow the car and let you go. It's usually like for an hour and a half that you can take them. If you're landing, you go get lunch and whatever and come back. And so he came back over to the hotel, picked me up when we checked out, and then we went back over to the FBO. And this is a big, beautiful, nice building. I should really take pictures. You can look it up online if you want to. Millionaire. We get over to the FBO, and they have flight planning rooms and meeting rooms and offices and all. So they're like, oh yeah, you can go use that drawing room over there, that boardroom over there. So we're talking, this is, a nice long boardroom desk, table with chairs. And so Kevin sets up his computer on one end, I'm at the other end, work the rest of the day, get everything done. I'm finished up by 5. I think he finished up, well, it was probably 5:30 by the time I got done. Who am I trying to kid? There's so many things that I could have stayed and done working until my work is never done. I mean, who am I trying to kid? It's never done. But knowing I was going to be on vacation for the next 10 days, I was trying to get as much done as possible for the people who were covering for me. And I think he finished up by 6:30, 6:45. And so I had everything ready to go. I had everything in the plane that we could get in the plane other than his computer bag. Got his computer bag in there, got him in there. He pre-flighted. We, everything's ready, and we hit the run. So then we take off from Gulfport, landed. It's not a very long flight from there to. So we went. Trying to remember the name of the little town. Calhoun County Airport is the name of the airport. I don't remember the name of the town. North Florida, up northwest Florida. And because they have very inexpensive gas there. Nice little FBO, very, very nice. And that's one of the really cool things about all the little FBO operators is a lot of times they're county owned and owned by the county, ran by the county. You go in, and even at nighttime, and because the airport is pretty much closed unless you have the access to it, which is usually by key, and it's usually one of the code can be found through the pilot means, and it's usually one of the radio codes. Long story short, we go in, we use the bathroom. They have snacks and drinks and stuff. They're there for a donation. You leave a donation and you help yourself to a snack. Pop back in the plane and then take off for Tallahassee, where they also have a Millionaire. Get there, get to the Millionaire in Tallahassee and tie it down. This is where we ran into trouble. The flaps wouldn't come back up. There were 10% of flaps still in. And so flaps are the things that you put down that help increase lift. They're on the backs of the wings. You will see them come down and airplanes use them, commercial ones, to help you slow down as you land. You'll see them, they go down out of the back of the wing, and then they come back up, and they're really loud. If you're sitting by the wing, you can really hear them, but they wouldn't come back up. We couldn't figure out why. And it was late, so we're like, you know what? We'll worry about it in the morning in the sunshine. So we got Uber, went to our hotel, and oh my gosh, I have to say, this was a Holiday Inn and Suites, what they call it. Anyway, Holiday Inn had the most comfortable bed in a hotel that I have slept on in a long time. It was really good. So slept till we woke up because we were on vacation. It was day one of vacation, no work. And then had breakfast in the little restaurant in the lobby. Very nice, excellent service, fantastic. Couldn't say anything better about them. Got an Uber back to the Millionaire, to the FBO, and in the light of day, and when you're not tired after having worked all day and then flown for 3 hours, realized that, oh, duh, when he hit the master switch, turning everything off, he flipped a fuse. So flipped the fuse back the other way, because you have this whole fuse breaker line of things that controls all the stuff in the plane. Flip that, got that going. Flaps went right up. Everything's fine. So then get refueled. Oh man, Millionaire in Tallahassee. Their person who's there, all fresh baked cookies. They were so good, and their stuff is free. They don't even ask for a donation because their gas prices and their tie down fees are a little more expensive. But long story short, I had some yummy cookies. Very tasty. Very nice facility there. I had not been to the one in Tallahassee before. So yeah, very nice facility. So took off from there and flew our way down the coast, the west coast of Florida, and found some potential vacation spots that I think I need to check out later. One's called Cedar Key. There's actually a landing strip, and then it lands right out by the water, and just beautiful. So I probably have pictures. Let me see if I can show pictures. All right, so this look. Whoa, get some glare off. This is looking out my wing of the plane. That's the strut that goes up to the wing. So you can see that little runway right there, right out to the water. And then there's this other island out here. There's houses out there. I'm like, ooh, boat out there. Can you imagine? That would be like the vacation to die for. Totally unplug. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So I'm gonna have to check that out. And there's also like rental places right along, and then like right next to the airport, and fishing. Oh my gosh, that would be so much fun. So that is a potential vacation spot I'm gonna have to check out for later. Let's see. From there, we flew on down and landed in Winter Haven. And so we probably could have landed, well, I know we could have landed closer to Orlando, but the Winter Haven, I guess it's a municipal, run by the county as well, has an on-site. A lot of the FBOs don't have on-site car rentals, but this one did, so it made it nice that we didn't have to get an Uber to the place to rent a car. So we just picked up our little Hertz rental car. They had it all ready to go for us. And the other great thing about that is you can drive your rental car out to your plane and load your stuff straight into it. So it's not like at the commercial airports when you have to wait for your baggage to come off the baggage claim, go to the rental car counter, get your rental car, lug all your crap out to the rental car. No, or better yet, get on the bus with all of your junk and lug it to the rental car facility by a bus. No, you get the car, and this guy even pulled it out to the plane for us, which was even better. Very nice facility in Winter Haven. Their FBO there was awesome. And so we pulled the car out, loaded it up, got on the road, and headed to our condo. Now, we had not planned on leaving until Thursday and getting there on Saturday. We gave ourselves two days to fly because we had planned on like stopping in Destin or some other places to look, but the weather sucked. So we're there 2 days early. Our reservations don't start till Sunday. Luckily, they were able to go ahead and check us in 2 days early and, extend our stay by 2 days. And for cheaper than we would have had to pay for another hotel, which was fantastic. So got all checked in early. Let's see, did we do anything Thursday? We went to a driving range on Friday so I could practice a little bit, get the old shoulder loosened up. It's doing pretty good. And so for any of you who have not joined before, I had rotator cuff surgery about almost 6 months ago now. And it's doing pretty good. I'm very happy with my progress. I did not expect it to recover as well as it did. But let's see. Was this? No, that was Tuesday. So went up to the driving range to get a little loosened up and practice a little bit. And then over the weekend, Oh, Saturday, I had, like, Montezuma's revenge, man. I don't know, I ate some bad chicken or something. Something didn't agree with me. So Saturday, we spent most of the day hanging out at the condo, with me having stomach problems. Long story short, it was not a good day. Got some stitching done, but did a lot of sleeping. And then Sunday, I don't remember what we did Sunday. Oh, that was when we went to Downtown Disney. That was fun. Got some stuff for my daughter for her birthday, and we decided I didn't do any of the parks though because Hannah would kill me to go to the park without her. She'd be mad at me, but that's okay. And Kevin really does not like the amusement parks, but that's okay because I do that with my kiddo. And then Monday, we went back to the airport and flew down to the east coast of Florida. We were supposed to be going to Sebastian. I had to remember the name of the town, and it started with S, which is where the Velocity factory is. The Velocity is an experimental plane that you can build yourself, or you can buy the kit and they will help you build it. And they are significantly faster than our Cessna. It's a canard wing, which means that the big wing is in the back and the little wing is in the front. Uh, let's see. I don't think I took any pictures. Hang on one second. I'll see if I can get one and show you. Okay. I don't know where that paused or what you got, so I may have to edit this later. But this is a Velocity XL, which is one of the types of Velocities that they build at the factory in Sebastian. They have twins and they have single engines. This is obviously a single engine with it's a pusher instead of a puller. And they have these big wings out here. And then so you see the big wing is in the back and the small wing is in the front. That's what they call a canard. And my biggest concern about this plane was being able to get in and out of it as we get older. Getting in and out of a low wing plane is significantly harder as you get older. And when I say low wing, so usually the wings are down here. And let's see if I can pull one up. So this is what we used to fly before we bought our plane, was a Bonanza V-tail. And let me see if I can pull this up so you can see it better. And so you literally climb up on the wing. This opens up like a regular door, and then you get down into the plane. That's the easy part. Getting up out of the bottom and climbing back down, that gets harder as you get older because there's not a lot of room or things to grab onto to pull yourself up and out. So we did not want to, I do not want to have a low wing plane as we get older. And so right now we have a high wing, a Cessna 172, which getting in and out of it is like getting in and out of a truck. You have to step up though, so that is still a little bit, if you have weak or bad knees as you get older. This, with it being the mid-wing plane, literally you step off the ground, you put your leg in, you scoot your butt into the seat, and you put the other leg in. They're super, super easy to get into. I was really amazed. And it honestly has a little bit more room side to side than our Cessna does. But that is Kevin's dream plane. As you can see, they are a little expensive. Let's see if I can find one. Now, the advantages to having a twin are, yeah, I guess that is what they look like. It just looks different from that far away. But the twins go significantly faster, but they also the expense when you have two engines, because you have to overhaul them completely every 2 years. And so overhauling two engines at the same time, significant expense. But that is Kevin's dream plane, is to have the Velocity XL, which is pretty freaking awesome. And that's what we went down to the factory to visit and see and talk to the guy who owned it. He's like 89 years old or 88, 89. And oh my gosh, so vigorous, just really impressive. We had such a great time touring that place. But as we were going to fly into the airport where they're located at, but when we got down there, one of the runways was closed. It had two runways, and the crosswind on the active runway was like 20 miles an hour, gusting to 30. And Kevin was like, that's not safe. You know, if you catch a big gust of wind when you're right down near the ground, it can literally roll you. So we made the wise decision to abort the landing and fly off. And luckily, Vero Beach is just a few miles down. And so I rerouted us to Vero Beach Airport. We landed at Vero Beach at the FBO there. Trying to remember the name of it. Can't remember the name off the top of my head. Great people though, very, very nice. They waive your tie down fees if you eat at the restaurant next door, and the restaurant was fantastic. CJ's something or another. Had a great mahi mahi sandwich for lunch. And then of course we borrowed their car to run up to Sebastian, 15 miles away, and do the tour. And it was really awesome. I had a great time. Then we zipped ourselves back down to Vero Beach, hopped in the plane, went back to Winter Haven, and yeah, we had a good time. It was really, really interesting. So we got to see both coasts of Florida, Atlantic and Gulf side, in the plane. So just going all over the place. Tuesday we went and played golf at a place called Lake Covita or Jovita Lake. Lake Covita? I don't know. It was beautiful. Absolutely stunning. They had two courses there. We played the South course, which is supposed to be the more challenging. Let's see. I think I took a couple of pictures here. This is one of the pictures of the clubhouse. This is like, what's this? Yeah, this is like their signature green. I don't know if you can tell that in the picture that's got their little emblem in there, but it was a very nice course. Had a good time. Didn't play very good, but I played all 18 holes, and that was a plus. My shoulder made it through, because the last time I went and played with Kevin, I think I only made it 12 holes before my arm really started hurting. And it was sore, but not painful. You could tell it was tired. And of course I still haven't, the strength is still coming back, because I mean basically a year. I heard it a year ago, February. And so a year ago this month, and I had basically done nothing with it since then. And gone back into the gym trying to get it stronger, but it's getting there. Yeah. And this, let's see, that's us in the plane being goofy. Yeah, it was fun. We had a good time. And then so that was Tuesday, and then Tuesday night we basically packed up and got everything ready to go. So Wednesday morning, then we checked out of the condo, and that was Valentine's Day. Went back down to Winter Haven, packed all the stuff in, and got ready to take off. And then flew back up the coast. Trying to remember where we decided. We were thinking about landing in Destin, but I don't remember if it was the weather was questionable, the winds, something. But we, checking out places along the eastern Gulf where have the white squeaky sand and it's so pretty. And so we decided to stop in Gulf Shores instead. And that was where I got to go visit the Creative Needleworks, the other stitchy store. We stayed at was the Hilton Garden Inn there too? I think so. And so that was our view of the beach, which was fantastic. And it was just really nice. We went out and walked on the beach. It was a little cool, but it was okay. Had a good time. Had some good food. And then took the rental car back, got in the plane the next day, got ready to take off for Gulfport. We knew we were going to be reined in for a couple of days. We had, we left on the 14th, knowing that we had until Monday to get back before we had to go to work on Tuesday, because you got to have those extra days in there because of weather. And as we watched the weather, we knew it was going to get ugly on Friday, Saturday. Yeah. So we knew we would be able to fly on Sunday. Now, Gulf Shores, while beautiful, doesn't have a lot to do when it's yucky outside. So Kevin was like, well, let's go over to Gulfport Biloxi where there's at least casinos and something we can do inside, even if it's yucky. So we flew the little, it's like 45-minute flight. It's not very far at all. Get over there, have a rental car ready to go for us at Gulfport. And we are literally getting out of the plane. The guy's out there with us, helping us tie it down, and so again, we're back at the Millionaire, and they have, they come out with a little luggage cart and they carry it. They're fantastic. And Kevin stops and he looks at me, he's like, I forgot. And then he just stops talking. And I'm like, spit it out. He forgot his pistol in the rental car. So we both have concealed carry license. Not that you need it in Texas anymore, but that's another bonus to flying yourself on your own is you can carry. And in most states, if you have carry license in one state, you can carry in another state. You just have to check them before you go. He left his pistol in the door of the rental car. So we go inside and we call the ladies at the FBO at Gulf Shores. It was called Gulf Air Center, and they were fantastic as well. When we got there on Wednesday, because it was Valentine's Day, they had cake pops that one of the ladies had made there. And oh my God, they were so good. Red velvet cake pops. They gave one to each of us, and I took Kevin's. I ate them both. I gave him one bite, okay? So we, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm already in Gulfport, and long story short, we called them and they're like, okay, we found it because the rental car people had not come and picked it up yet from the place. They drop it off and pick it up from the FBO. And so I had given them the keys to keep until the rental car people get there. And so she went out and found it and they put it away. But before we left Gulf Shores, we decided to play golf there too at a place called Cotton Creek, I think. And it was a lot of fun as well. Had a good time there. I didn't take any pictures of the actual golf course, but this cute little cardinal was hanging out in the bushes. And so I took some pictures of him. And actually, I parred 3 holes on that day, which is amazing. So I was pretty happy with that. But yeah, there was that. So we're in Gulfport, Mississippi. We have our rental car. And it's raining, so obviously we're not flying back over to Gulf Shores to pick up the pistol. So we do a road trip. What took 45 minutes to fly from takeoff to landing, getting everything down, took 2 hours and 15 minutes, which is why it's so nice to fly. And you fly in a straight line. So drove over there to pick up his pistol. And yeah, there's that. Then what else did we do? Oh, we were going to try to take the scenic route and drive and take the ferry across one of the islands. Yeah, we get all the way out to the tip of that island. The ferry was closed for maintenance. So then we had to drive all the way back in the island and then back up and then back over to 10 and back through Mobile, and it is what it is. It was interesting. It was an adventure, right? And we weren't doing anything else. It was rainy and yucky outside. So then we got back. It was late in the evening by the time we got back to Gulfport. And so I think we just got something to eat and basically went back to the hotel and went to bed. We just stayed at the Hampton Inn there. And I felt sorry for all the people who would pay the high prices for the beachfront hotels. They were all full for the weekend because, that was the other thing. This was an adventure because I booked things last minute when we finally decided we were going to stop. And it actually worked out okay. I will tell you, I did learn a lesson. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, the Hampton Inn was fine. This was right by the airport, so it was in a little bit from the beach, which was fine. But then we went to the casino on Saturday. No, let's see, we got there Thursday night. So what did we do Friday? Friday was our adventure day when we went back over to Gulf Shores. And then Saturday we went to the casinos and then walked around the mall because obviously it was nasty and yucky and rainy. and cold. And then Sunday morning we got up and flew home. So then we went from Gulfport to Millionaire in Lake Charles. They filled up gas tanks, stopped and went to the bathroom, got a snack, and then went from there all the way home. And that was that. We were home by 1:00. So, lesson that I learned. Typically, I am a Hilton or a Marriott girl. I don't care which one. I get points for both of them wherever I stay. A lot of times I'll have points through work. But Kevin's like, well, have you ever tried one of those like Trivago things, for last minute booking and all that? They say you can get them so super cheap. I was like, well, no, but I'll look. There's nothing preventing me from doing that. But typically, Hilton guarantees their lowest price is going to be on their webpage, through their app. So I had looked through the app, and it was going to be like, I don't know, $9,500 a night for the Hampton. And so I looked on the Trivago thing, and it was like $59. I'm like, wow, that's a steal. And so I go through, and I'm doing all the stuff, and put in all my information. It does not give me a review page. There's no review page, which I thought was really odd. And then I press, pay, and it tells you immediately this is non-refundable. And they tacked on, so that the price for the 3 nights at like $59 was, what, $180, 60 times 3? Yeah. They tacked on more than, it wasn't double, but 1.5 times that in fees. Because for whatever this third party. So Trivago is not the ones booking it. It's a third party using Trivago to advertise. So what should have been a $300-ish stay, had I done it through the Hilton website app, was 400 plus, almost 500. So buyer beware. Don't use Trivago. I was shocked, to say the least, and we'll never do that again. Lesson learned, just one of those things, lesson learned, and won't happen again. I will continue to book straight through the app. So yeah, that was that. Let's see, what else did I say? Oh, so the allergy stuff. The day we went and played in Gulf Shores, excuse me, went and played golf in Gulf Shores, I forgot to take my Allegra in the morning. I usually take an Allegra every morning. And I don't remember what happened. We got busy doing something and I wasn't paying attention, and I forgot to take it. And so I had taken one the morning before and didn't think about it. So as we're out on the golf course, there is stuff flying around everywhere. There's pine trees, then there's pine pollen, and there's oak trees. And I don't know when oak trees bloom there, but here they bloom in February and March. Oak trees are my nemesis. And even though I've had some desensitization therapy to them, it seems to be that I'm probably going to have to go back and repeat it. It's been 5 or 6 years. But all this stuff, you can literally see it floating in the air. And, by the end of the day, my throat was already feeling raw. And stupid me didn't think about, well, I did think about it, I just didn't, because I take Allegra D because of the congestion. And if I take it in the evening, I can't sleep at night because it's too much Sudafed. It keeps me awake. So I didn't take anything that night. So we're talking 48 hours to the next morning since I've had any antihistamine decongestant. I was a mess. So I've been taking, I take the 12-hour one. So I've been taking it every 12. I didn't take one last night. I didn't take a second one yesterday, trying to get this crap back under control. And it'll get there. It'll get there. But that was our grand adventure. I did fly some of each leg because I am going to work toward my private pilot's license. I'm waiting to find out if they're going to pass. There's a thing called a mosaic law rule. I don't remember exactly what it is, but it'll actually change the designation of our Cessna into what they call an LSA, a light sport aircraft. And it will change the rules for how many hours of instruction you have to have, how many hours of flight time you have to have. It basically cuts it in half, which will be significantly cheaper. Sorry, my phone keeps going off. Work messages, because while our corporate office is closed, which means I'm off, some of our clinics are still open. But so I'm waiting to find out. They're supposed to pass that sometime this summer. If they pass that, they will cut the amount of time I have to spend with an instructor in half, which cuts the cost in half because instructor time is your biggest expense. Well, other than renting the plane, which I don't have to worry about because we own our own plane. So I'm waiting to find out, but I'm getting a lot of, Kevin's teaching me along the way. Taking off is easy. Flying is fairly easy as long as it's not really bumpy or something. Landing is the hard part. You're basically flying it into the ground until it stops flying, until the wings stop having lift. You get it so slow that the wings stop lifting. Which is hard in our plane because of that short takeoff and landing kit. When Kevin did his biannual flight review last year, they had it down to 40 miles an hour and still couldn't stall it, because that's one of the things that you have to do in your pilot training is stall your plane and recover. And they couldn't stall it. Normally they stall around 50, 60 miles an hour. They couldn't stall it. The instructor that you do your biannual flight review with was like, I'm not comfortable going any slower. So they said, okay, that's what we're going to do. They were done. But so it's a very safe plane, which is awesome, and that's always a good thing. But it will definitely make it a little easier for me to get my pilot's license if they pass that mosaic rule, which I'm hoping will be happen before too long. Learned a lot, asking all the questions, learning about all the different what do you call them? The different designations of airports and like the Delta regions around airports versus the Bravo around your bigger airports, airspaces. That's the word I'm looking for. And in order to go through some airspaces, you have to be in contact with that airport or with that controller before you can break their airspace, or you get in trouble and you get a fine from the FAA, and we don't want to do that. So learning a lot, ground school stuff that I'm going to need to know along the way. So I should be able to breeze right through pilot training when they decide what they're going to do with the mosaic stuff. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. We have, really, it's been really enjoying the plane. Our next big adventure will be in June for the Oshkosh fly-in for the Experimental Aircraft Association. That's in Oshkosh, Wisconsin in June. We are going to camp with our Cessna. You basically pull in and you have to, there's tons of videos on it. Just, type in Oshkosh fly-in if you want to see anything around it. But you basically get parked out on the grass beside the airstrip, and you camp under your wing. You have to camp within your footprint of your plane. And so we've been slowly accumulating all of the supplies that we need to do this camping for 3 or 4 nights. I told them I didn't want to stay the whole week. I think that would be, I don't know if I could do that. I mean, they have on-site shower facilities and everything you need. So you're not like roughing it, not getting a shower. But yeah, that's going to be our next big adventure in June. So stay tuned for the adventures. I'm going to need to change my channel name from Extit Shari to Flying Extit Shari, something crazy. But this is, kind of as the kids get older and we're headed toward retirement. What we really want to find out is this feasible? Can we do this? Is this going to work for vacationing and traveling? And I think it is. It's been a lot of fun. We had a really good time. I do know I don't like flying for more than 2 hours at a time. You get restless. You want to put down, get out of the plane, walk around, go to the bathroom, whatever. So even though we could go further, we could probably fly for 3 hours at a time. I don't wanna. That's too much time in the airplane. Like they say you should get out of a car and walk around every 2 hours, to help prevent blood clots and stuff like that. Yeah, more than 2 hours in the plane is enough. And so that's one of the reasons we're really interested in the velocity is it goes, I don't want to say twice as fast, but probably almost, at least 1.5 times as fast. And so in that same amount of time, you could go significantly farther in the velocity than you could in a Cessna. But that'll be a ways off, get the kids out of college, sell one place, downsize from this place, and we'll go from there. So thanks for listening. I hope that was fun for some of you to learn about our adventures in flying. And I will hopefully get back onto my regular vlogging schedule because I don't think we're planning on going anywhere, or at least for the next week, 2 weekends. My niece's wedding is next weekend, but I don't think we're going. So, I don't know. We'll see. We may go over for the day. It's just in Houston. I'll figure it out. But we may go over there next weekend. It's also Hannah's birthday next week, but she's like, I don't have time for you to come up. I'm studying. I've got 2 tests. And I'm like, that's okay. Just, tell us when you want to come up and we'll celebrate your birthday. So, everybody have a great week. Hopefully you get lots of stitching time in. Hopefully it's getting to be nice where you are. I know that's probably more for the people in the South. Springtime is coming. It's going to be 80 by Thursday, which I love. I love summer. All right. See y'all later. Happy stitching.